Hi fellow Stitchers, I'm Vicky, StitchNButton. I am back for Flosstube number 31. I am going to talk about stuff, stitching stuff. Basically, the past couple of weeks it's pretty much like Maynia stuff and a couple of sales that I've been trying to focus on. As far as life, I started a job, I think I mentioned that, about 3 weeks ago, 3 or 4 weeks ago now, and it's going well, but it cuts in on other things, like making bags and stitching, and it's got me up early, and it's got me a little tired, so, but I'm hanging in there, I'm adjusting. It is what it is, right? Gotta work. Anyway, I've got a pile of stuff. I didn't put them in order as to when I worked on them. I just sort of kept them in a pile as I worked on them. I put them in a basket, so I remember to show them. So that's what we're gonna do. Let's see. Saturday, I went and visited with Sunshine Stitchers again. I got to get down there, and I stopped by Gary and Ronnie's house first because I wanted to stop and drop something off for Ronnie. As I'm there, Gary comes bursting in with these bags. He's like, "You gotta go to Joann's. They got fabric, blah, blah, blah." So I was like, fine. So instead of going over to the cupboard afterwards and sitting and stitching on my scary one, which was going to be my only start, my new start for Maynia, it was only one, I ended up going to Joann's and spending 2 hours. So by the time I got to the cupboard, which I went with a game plan I was going to stitch, and there was a couple, were a couple of patterns that I brought with me to see about getting fabric and some threads and stuff, because I don't have a lot of the crescent color ones, and I know this big old pile right here, I don't have a lot of crescent colors, and I don't have all the weak style works in general art, so most of the time I'll sub out. But if I know I'm doing something, sometimes I'll make it a point to buy the threads, especially if I'm going to be in a shop. It gives me a reason to buy something, right? So let's see. So I went to the cupboard. I basically only had about 20 minutes, 30 minutes tops, before we were leaving to go back to Gary's house. So I picked out some fabrics, and I'll show you my purchases in a bit. They're in the pile. And then we got back, and we did a video. I was a guest star, not a star by all means. I was a special guest for Sunshine Stitcher, so most of you have probably seen them already or watched that one, but if you haven't, go check them out, and I will link it below, as usual, in the description box. So it was a lot of fun, then we had dinner, and I ended up only getting in about one length full of thread on the tree. You could barely see it because of the spot, but it'll show up. The rest of the tree will show up, so it's okay. And I'll show you that in a moment, too, because that's in this pile. Let's start out with, I actually have my Maynia. I was outside and there's bugs, and I always feel like there's like bugs crawling on me when I come to the house. It's Florida life. Okay, so the first one for Maynia for May 1st, I have Winter Wonderland. And I think in my last video I said I was going to do 18 whips and one new start to make it a 19. And I thought I only had 18 whips, but I think I found 1 or 2 more, which is not a big deal. I mean, close enough. It's not too bad. Oh my god, I got the itchies. Anyway, I worked on Winter Wonderland for May 1st, and I was kind of already burnt out on it. And if you watch Sunshine Stitching, you'll know. I worked on it for the School of Magical Stitches homework, and for over the weekend, because I had to work on my smallest project, and that's my smallest project. And then, boom, May 1st was the next day, and it was my first one. I was like, oh, why couldn't it be like number 5 or 6? But I put in a few more stitches in it, and this is, okay, here's the picture. It's called Winter Wonderland. I'm not putting the bunny. I'm not crazy about the bunny. I like the rest of it, though. So the bunny will go away. Maybe I'll send the button to somebody. I don't think I'll use it. It's a ceramic button. So that's it. It's on blue perforated paper as per Mill Hill standards, and this is how far I've gotten. Since I've shown this last, I pretty much finished up everything here except for the beading, and then I started on there's a very light blue in here too, along with some white. And then, yeah, I moved over here, I did some of that, and I did some of this. What I'm finding is this is a stretcher bar that's 6x6, and it's cutting off some of it, so I'm wondering if I shouldn't have got a 7x7. That way, on the back, you put your tacks. If I get a 7x7, I think I can bring it to the edge of the 7x7 and have more real estate on there. But for now, since I have this one, that's what I'll do. And I feel like there's like little moths all over me. It'll settle down. There's like a half-hour adjustment period, I think. Anyway, so that's how far I've gotten. It's going to go away for a while. I'm not a big 3-strand person, and I mean, I like it. It's pretty, but it's not calling to me to finish it, so that's as far as we're going to get for now. That is also, I am pretty sure there's a hashtag Mill Hill Sal. I am pretty sure I've had that on my list. I think so. So that's my Mill Hill. Now, I fixed Midsummer Night's Fairy, and today, like I said, I'm not going in order as far as the days. Today's the 8th day for Maynia, and I pulled out Midsummer Night Fairy, and I finally finished the ribbon down the bottom. I sort of had to fudge it. Can't fix it, feature it. It was off by 1, so I made it work. Then I went along and fixed, not fixed, but stitched the last part of the skirt, because I think I ran out of the blended threads because it was 2 different DMCs, and I just put it all to the side and I forgot to go back and do it before I moved on. So, I'm going to stitch on her some more tonight, but this is Midsummer Night Fairy. It's by Mirabilia. I have a chart here. This is what she looks like. It's a shiny picture, so you're going to get a glare, but that's what she looks like. And I do have all the beads, and it's a call for color. I think, what's it saying? Stony Point linen from Witch Hill, 32 count. I know I did all the called for colors, all the called for beads, and the call for linen. So that's what this is. And I'm loving her, again. And I'm kind of excited because her skirt's done. All the rest are all beads, which I'll do later, because I use the Q-snap, so I don't want to put the beads in. So I'm thinking about, I'm almost done here, this whole branch here, but I noticed I still have some leaves to do. So I think I just want to finish up whatever little 9 here, 5 here stitches that are done over here, and then I can move over here and maybe do all the leaves here also. I don't know, I'll see how much I get done tonight. It's not a lot, but like I said, I'm a little tired. As far as the Krynic, there's a lot of Krynic because it's her wings, and they're all Krynic and blended with DMC sometimes. Sometimes yes, sometimes no. And then I get to move up and do, I don't know if I want to do, I know the 1/1 skin is pretty, but I'm not sure if I'm going to do it or not. See how lazy I am. I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, that's how far I got on Midsummer Night's Fairy. I did pull, if you notice, Gary, I pulled out at least a piece of cardboard. Okay? I did not pull everything out of the bags, though, like because otherwise I'd lose something and then lose my mind. So I'm putting her over here because she's getting worked on some more tonight. This is day 4. This is, alright, so hashtag Audrey is a bully. Hashtag Audrey is a scary one. I showed this on Sunshine Stitchers and it was blank. Because I had been at Joann's and it took up all my time. And I didn't get any done before we filmed. But I did make sure to put in a length, and it might be 20 or 30, I don't know, whatever the length was. I did get some stitches in before I left Gary's, but I haven't worked on it since because I had other things to work on. By the time I got back Saturday night, I was tired and I didn't stitch. So, Audrey, if you go over and look at her latest video from this week, she has already started bullying me about the fact that I didn't get anything stitched. She has made comments about the little bit of stitching I did. She's tried to offer me tissues, told me not to cry, because hashtag Audrey is a bully. So here is the stitch along. Audrey. I got my own tissues, and it's not just one little pack like you said. I have a whole box, plus I got 10 packs of the small ones, so I'm alright. I can get my own tears, thank you. This is Scary One by Plum Street. I made a lot of changes as far as what threads I'm going to do. Okay, so here's my notes as to what's going to be what. It's not even this symbol's going to be that color. It's like these trees are going to be this, but that same symbol over here is going to be something else. So I'm using Weeks Dye Works, there's like one DMC, 2 DMCs, one General Arts, one Weeks Dye Works, and then the rest are all Victoria Motto. It is on Witch's Brew, and I'm pretty sure it's 35 count. Witch's Brew by Dames of the Needle. And I chose it to be like this because the cauldron's going to be over here, and I think it'd be cool to have that really dark spot above the cauldron. Like there was an explosion. Exploded. And this is what I mean by you really can't see it. In person, you could actually see it a little bit better. And I know once I get in here, it won't look like it's all washed out. Anyway, that's the tip of the tree, and that's all I got done. But I will make this more of a focus piece after Maynia. I'll get some in there, plus I'm sure there's some kind of homework from Magical Stitches that I can fit this in. But that's what I got. And because it was May the 4th, I put my yoga in anything, alright? I hurt myself. But I put my Yoda guitar pick needle minder on there. I have more Star Wars needle minders like that on my Etsy if you're interested. But I received, I know it's in here. I showed this before. I received this from Dawn, Frosty X Stitch on Flosstube and Instagram. And this is going to be the needle minder for it now. So I'm going to take Yoda off, because I had already planned on using this one. Because it's a witch. And Dawn gave it to me, and it's so cute. Ta-da! The changing of the needle minder. He'll go over on my magnet board. It's not like I don't have enough needle minders, right? Anyway, so there goes Scary One. Very little progress. Don't worry, I will stitch it more. Audrey, you can stop bullying me. See how she picks on me? It's never, nothing's ever enough. Nothing. I almost gave Audrey a heart attack when I said, yeah, I guess I kind of love you. She was like, oh, but still, my heart. I know Audrey always says, oh, you know, we're only joking. I would hope that everybody knows we're joking. If you don't know that we're joking, really, I mean. Anyway, my next one. This was day 7, which was yesterday. And it is called Animal Magnetism. I don't have the picture with me right now. But I did work on, basically, okay, the board's a little bit big. I worked on, he's holding some kind of, I don't know, branch or something in his trunk. It's an elephant. See the tusks? And yeah. So what I did was I worked on doing those fiddly parts there. And they were like oranges and browns. So I did all that. And then I worked in here because I don't know if you remember, there's a straight line there and across. So I did a lot of fill in on him. And then I worked some more of those orangey rust colors over here for a little bit. But I got like 200 stitches in, and it doesn't even look it, but I'm happy with it. And like I said, I've been debating on whether I want to move over, which way I want to go. And the way the chart is cut off from dimensions, I think my best bet would be just to continue up and over this way. And because there's a lot of color changes in there. So I think up and over this way so the chart doesn't get on my nerves too. Although I did put it in that Good Notes program, so that's a plus. But that's how far I've gotten. This is hashtag Dimensions sale. If you guys have Dimensions kits that you're doing, there is a stitch along on Instagram that's hashtag Dimensions sale. So that's what I use for that, and that's what I use for day 7. And let's see what's up next. What's up? One Nation is up. One Nation was day 2. I ended up taking it off of the hoop and putting it on a Q-snap so I had more room. And I remember why I had it on a hoop to start with. Because I guess when I started it, I only started it... What's that? I'm going to measure it. I don't know why, but I only started about almost 2 inches over instead of 3 like I did down. So I don't have enough real estate over here for a Q-snap on the side. But since I had gotten so far over, I was able to put it on the Q-snap. I seem to hold this Q-snap better. And I stitched lines. I put in some of the blues here, and like I said on Sunshine Stitchers, there's a line here that's missing. I got to do that soon. But I put in a lot of the blue lines, and I made it all the way over to the other side of that border around the stars. So everything over here is red and white. It starts to stripe. So I was happy with getting that done like that. And I finished all the top half stars and that little corner of a star there. I guess technically they're not going to be stars. They're sort of like flower fillers because the whites are the 50 stars. But I think I made some good progress on that. And this is Creek Bed Brown, I believe, by R&R Lakeside. I always get them mixed up. Sorry. I bought it so long ago that I forgot. Because I've had it kitted for 10 years, so... Or since it... What's the copyright? 9 years, 2010. I bought it brand new when it first came out. And I went a little bit darker on the fabric than what they do on this picture because I think the colors pop a little bit more, and it's gorgeous. And I know Laura went and bought it and is blaming me for her buying it. I'll take credit, whatever. It's pretty, so you know. And I'm not the only one stitching it. I know Catty Sue Cats on Instagram. She did 2 of them and finished them, and I know there's a couple more people doing One Nation. And that's hashtag 1BA Nation. And figure out what BA means. Big, yeah. But, I'm happy with where I got. And the more I stitch on it, the more I like it. So that's definitely going to get a lot more because it's sort of like a momentum for me. What is up next? I got a lot done on... This one's day 5, but I worked on this for that Magical School Stitches for homework. And plus for a sale. This is the hashtag Stitching It Old School sale. Wendy, Hoodlums Times 4, had proposed that sale, and I liked it because this one's been in my wheelhouse forever. I know it's pre-2006 when I started it, but I know that this is like a 1996 pattern. It's out of a Mary Engelbreit book that I had, and it had all this border, flower border that went around. I omitted that and just made it, because it like sort of overlapped on some of the checkers. You can figure out what a checker is, so I didn't need to chart out the checkers. I just kept on going and ignored where the flowers cut in. Because I'm just going to do the checker border. It's filthy because it's forever ago, and I got a lot done on this between the day 5 Maynia and the homework, I got all this roof done. I filled in all this house over here and the lines because there was like nothing over here. I finished filling in a little bit over here, and I did a lot of fill in here and some of the flowers in the front. And if you could see, there's like an arbor type thing or climbing roses or something, I'm not sure, coming up here. I did all that. So I think I made a lot of progress on this. I did a lot of the border on it. And this is house on my house. So there's a lot of back stitching. There's back stitching around the lettering. I'm not going to do the back stitch that goes on the inside or outside of this checker. I don't think it needs it. There are some flowers that are back stitched here, and then some lazy daisy flowers around here that I'll do. And then this is full coverage. This whole inside that's all full coverage. Even up in here, you do the sky and some trees to get done. But I'd say I'm at least 2/3 done. Even with the back stitching to do, I've got a huge chunk of that done. And the more I work on it, the faster it seems to go. So that's a good thing. I think what happened was once I got into the cottage, there were so many color changes, it was driving me crazy. And that's why it went away for so long. But this is another oldie but goodie. I still like it. I think it's cute. I really like the font. I like the coloring. I like that it's a thatched cottage. And I don't know. I mean, is it old-timey? I don't know. I think it's a little bit of both. I think, although you can tell that it's an older pattern, I think it's still pretty and worth me finishing and hanging up. Hopefully I can get it pretty much clean. I think I'd like to get it either matted or the frame just around there so there's no fabric showing. Anyway, that's my Mary Englebright. And I know it was the book that had the little girls, like the back of the little girls showing on it. They were on a bridge or at a well or wishing well or something like that. So, Wendy, I might just finish that. How about that? I know there's some of us, there's a few of us, and like I said, that's, let me say 12 more times. Hashtag, because I didn't write this one down. Hashtag stitching it old school Sal. All spelled out, even with the J on stitching. That is in my $3 bag from Family Dollar. It fits perfect. I've been taking a lot of things off of the key snaps because I'm using them for everything else since I'm rotating so much. Okay. Liberty Tree. I don't have the picture of that. I only have the magazine. I didn't pull out the magazine. It came from Just Cross Stitch, July, August 2010. And I don't think I have the picture here, do I? No. I did post a picture in Magical Stitches, I know that. But basically, it's a M Designs, and it's called Liberty Tree, and it says Liberty, and then it's mirror image to say Liberty again, and it's in the shape of a tree. I am stitching this on, I might even have the fabric tag in here or something. I started this one. This is another old one, and this is one of the reasons why I really just want to get some of these old ones done, because there's so many new ones. This one's from Welcome Stitchery Inc. I don't even know where that is. I might have got it online. It's Joblin, 28 count, Babbling Brook. So I don't know who that manufacturer is as far as who dyed it. It might be a silk weaver. I mean, I've had the fabric for a long time. I started a long time ago. And I'm doing it in this great bright blue silk from hand-dyed fibers, aka Vicki Clayton, and she doesn't dye anymore, so sorry about your luck. She does come up, she had some great colors. This is Liberty. This is how far I've gotten so far. So when I had to pull it out on the 6th, I ended up doing the whole entire, well, I want to say the entire Y, but there's still a little swirly at the top, but when I placed the Q-snap, it was a little too low to finish it. So I did what I could of the Y, and then I did the entire B. And I called it a day for that. It should, you know how, it's not that much. You think I'd just be done. I don't know why. I don't think I want to do any more of the trees. The word trees, I'm sort of over them. I did the Halloween. I also did the Christmas. Halloween is framed and up on the wall. Christmas is not. Christmas is, I think I've shown it in my finishes. I need to put buttons on it. I haven't decided what buttons to put on it, so I'm not going to rush the process, right? It's fine. It's safe. And then I'm going to have to get that one framed also. So, I know in the magazine they show it as a pillow. I don't want to make a pillow out of it. My goodness, everything's starting to tumble. Too many things, stuff and things. I worked on, what else do I have? I worked on Sale and Remembered. I got one person's name, 1.5 names done. And I don't know where it went. Oh, wait, it might be in here. It is. This one's by the Primitive Needle. I'm doing this again in Vicki Clayton Silks. This is Vicki Clayton fabric. It's about true to color. Basically, I finished off her. I did the name Anne, and I did the first 3 letters in her last name, and then I did Margaret Scott. And this is all 1/1 on 36 count, and that's why it's taken me forever, because I'm not really enjoying 1/1 on 36 count. Although I think it's going to be really nice, it's a little daunting, and as much as I like the smaller count and the smaller petite stitches, I don't know why I just can't make myself stitch it more often. I don't know why. I like it when it's done. I like the way it looks. I like the way other people do it. It's just not enjoyable to stitch for me, and maybe because my eyesight isn't what it used to be. But I know I did it like that because I wanted to use the silks, and I only had so much of it, and then the fabric, if I did it over 2, I didn't have, at the time when I wanted to start it, that was a perfect color I wanted, and if I did it over 2, I wouldn't have had that color and that size. So it was out of necessity. I did 1/1. Who else did I work on? Liberty Tree, Midsummer Night's Fairy. Oh, there was more homework that I ended up doing. And that is on my hate. And I do believe that was for extra credit for last month. And all I did was work on Blue Flame. I know I have a picture here. Where's she at? Here she is. And I'm working up in here. This white stuff is Krynic. Somebody asked me, do you mean they have Krynic on Heaven and Earth Designs? Yes, some of them do. I mean, it's not a lot. It's not heavy, so it's not obnoxious amount, because obviously if you're doing 1/1, you don't need an obnoxious amount of Krynic. Anyway, I did black stitches, and I think if you watched me before, you remember I said I did this, and then I had to pick it out, and then you saw the fuzzies. Well, now you can't see the fuzzies anymore because I filled it in and then some. I did 500 stitches, over 500 stitches in black, just getting that done, because I used it for homework. So, since I've been trying to be good and fill in blocks, I'm going to try to fit it in homework, of course, but I would also like to start filling this in and just getting those done so I could just... And I did grid this in pencil, and the only reason why I grid it in pencil, because it's full coverage, there are no holes that are going to show. Otherwise, I wouldn't have been so daring, because you can't wash it out. It's very hard to get pencil out. And I wouldn't do it if something was showing. So, for Aqua City that I showed last time, I ordered Easy Grade Fabric, the place I ordered from, did not tell me they were out of stock. And only after 9 days when I looked and saw it still wasn't shipped, I had to contact them, and they said they ordered it. They didn't have it. They ordered it, although it said it was in stock. They ordered it, and then it didn't come in with the fabric order. But they had other sizes, and I didn't want other sizes. I wanted 25 count, easy grid for the hate. So, or I could wait. Well, I waited like at least 4 or 5 more days, and I just canceled my order, and I decided I ordered it from Keepsake, so they're going to order it for me. I know that I'll get updates, and I'm not in a rush for it. I just didn't like the fact that I had to go asking after 9 days why it wasn't shipped when it said it was going to be shipped in 3 to 5 days. I'm an Etsy shop owner. If I don't have something in stock, first of all, I try not to have anything available if I don't have it in stock. There's been one time that something sold and I didn't realize it was on there, and I had to explain myself, and I hate having to do that because it's a letdown. And then there was another time where there was just a little delay because I thought I had a grime guard made. It wasn't. I had to make it, but I did contact them and let them know that it was going to be a day or two, because 9 times out of 10, if you order from me, I ship it. You can ask anybody. I ship it the next day if possible. I just want to get it out. I don't want to forget about it. Less chance of error. Also, when I make bags, even when I make custom bags for somebody, if they're like, oh, I like that fabric, can you make another one? Yep, and they want to pay me? No. I wait, I make the bag. Once the bag is ready to ship, then I bill. That's the way I prefer it. I think it keeps everybody honest, and if there's any mishaps where maybe I don't have the fabric, then we don't have to worry about a refund or anything like that. That's just a little thing for me. What else? I know I had purchases, and that's what I'm getting. Oh, see these? Gary gave me these when I was over at the house. He only needed a few of them, and he knows I do beading and stuff, so he shared, and he knows I do a lot of Halloween. Thanks, Gary. Bear with me. Allergies are back. Not as bad as before, but for the past 5 days. My Allegra just can't hang. Okay, so when I went to the cupboard, I'm pretty sure if you saw Sunshine Stitchers, you know, but what I got. But there's a couple other things I got in the mail. I didn't let out all my secrets. Okay, so I had bought this when it was new. It's Needle Bling Designs Happy Summer. You can still get this. I purchased mine from the whole Stitch and Caboodle. She was able to order it and get that to me. And I know any of the shops can get it because it's still at Hoffman. And I don't think Teresa discontinues anything. But it's really cute. It's almost summer. I know I don't have extra bright colors, so I made sure to get some of the brighter colors from the cupboard. Sorry. I also finally found fabric. I had Gary help me. Oh, that's an ugly sneeze. Excuse me. Okay. Let's try to get this done now, guys. I don't want to have to paste them together. Dorothy's Discovery. Bought this when it was new. Had to have it. I have been slowly acquiring things to put it with. I'll be using this. And here goes the fabric. It is. I've never had a... Hang on. I've never had a thought. No, okay. Yeah. This one's PTP fabric. And it's a new one. It's called Heartland. And it's got a little goldish brownish thing to it. There you go. You can't see through it. This is going to be perfect. It is 32 count. And this is going to be plenty big enough for it. I'll just pay attention to the yellows I choose for the yellow brick road just to make sure it'll stand out, but I think it's going to be just fine. I probably won't. It's charted in DMC, and then there's a couple Weeks Dye Works and General Arts, which I probably have most of, and I didn't even really bother looking for them, because if I don't have them, I probably have something pretty darn close. So I limited myself on how many threads I actually had bought. Plus, you know, a lot of the classic colorworks, doesn't matter where you go, I'm not faulting the cover, they have tons of stuff, but classic colorworks can be hard to locate some of the colors. Oh, I'm getting on my own nerves. Okay, hurry up. Of course, if I took it out of the plastic, Gary. Halloween delivery. That's not a new chart. However, the fabric's new. This is my first hand-dyed by Stephanie fabric. And, okay, I give up. I'll be back. Okay, I'm back with a red nose. I was so good for like 6 weeks. There's got to be something that either blooms or it's just spring in Florida. But I've not had this problem for like 6 weeks. And about 4 days ago, it came back slowly and now it's here. So, Flonase again. And I've been taking the Allegra, just, if I take the Benadryl, I'll pass out. I can't do that. Okay, back. 2. This is my first hand dyed by Stephanie fabric. It's called Kaleidoscope, and I think it's going to look great. Let me put it on this board. It is 28 count. I usually like 32, but Gary and I had him help me, and we decided we really like this, and it was big enough. Because obviously 32, you wouldn't need it that big. But it was big enough, and it was the right price. This is a, I don't know. Let's measure it. Since I got something here. It's 22 by 12. So that's plenty. And it was only $16. So, I mean, for hand-dyed, that's not bad. I love the colors. I think I have to decide how I want it. Do I want the red over the bird, or, you know, we'll see. But I really like that, and I just have to pay attention to the colors around it, like the ghost bud. If you look, Gary had pointed that out. It's a ghost. It's got a top hat and, like, an impression of a butt, but there's nobody there holding the reins. And I think this gray, since it's in black framing, that's not going to be a problem. I just need to pay attention when I pull the colors. Now, I didn't get any of the colors on here. They were all Weeks Dye Works and just one General Arts I'm looking. And I think I have most of them. If not, I can sub out for something else. On the back, I just read, I've had this chart forever, and I just read it said, did you know? From 1784 to the mid-1800s, Great Britain used post coaches to deliver mail. These mail coaches were faster than stage coaches in that they only stopped for delivery of mail and not for passengers. Eventually, they were replaced with the rail system. Who knew? Somebody did. They wrote it down. Paulette knew. Or she looked it up. So, I bought the 2 pieces of fabric and those few threads to fill that in from the cover, and then I also had taken this one. This one I really like. This one's by Jan Alexander, Tree of Life Samplings, and it's called Stitch Happy, and it's really cute. I've had it for a little bit, and I don't have a lot of classic colorworks. Let me repeat myself. So all I did was just, they only had one of the colors available. This is in my Sooner book. All this, and actually I took this one too. This was one that was in my Sooner book to kit, and I ended up not getting anything in here for that, but that's okay. I chose to get the couple of pieces of fabric, which was enough for my spending limit for the time being, and a couple of threads. I'll eventually finish kitting it, but I did at least put it in here so I know I have it. That's why the fabric and stuff are all in there to keep it together. And in doing that, I got a cute little complimentary blackbird design. It's a tree with a house, or a house with a tree. And then that was cute. And then my last purchase was, It Is Kismet had stitched this, and I really liked it. And I looked for it. It was like, I don't know, $8 or $10, and at the time I just didn't have the money. So it's been in the back of my head that I wanted it. And I was in Stash Unloading, and somebody put up some really cool stuff, and they had it. It's called It's in the Bag, and you can do either the coffee or the tea. I might actually do both, but you know I'm going to do the coffee, right? So I was able to get that. And then because you can't just buy one, right? I mean, if you're going to pay the postage, do it. They had this one, and I can't even remember who I bought it from, but I think, yeah. My goodness, I never even opened it up. Hey, you can't chart it from here, but look at the size of this chart. Wow, that's actually obnoxiously large. Here's the pattern. I really like that. Caught my eye, and it's Sepia Color Original Designs Collection by Laura Latuda. It's basically, it's a branch of Passion Ricamo, which is the Italian designer, and copyright 2010. Anyway, but I think that's really pretty, so I don't know when I'll get to it, but I do like that. It's very large chart. I'm definitely going to have to make a working copy because I'd tear this one up and be all mad at myself. What else? I did some finishing. I made my secret stitch and I sent it and she loved it. So that was good. And then Gina, my best friend Gina, she had stitched this little piece, and I forget exactly what it's called. She could put it in the comments down below, but I'm pretty sure it's a Little House Needleworks, and she gave it to me. She's like, finish it for me, so I stuffed the hell out of it, added the buttons. All I have to do is just sew the end. I just haven't had time or gumption, so I'll finish it up because I'm going to meet up with her. We are going to the beach. She's going to Hilton Head. I will be meeting her there and staying with them for a couple of days. Frank and Haley and I will be going up to visit. So it's like a halfway point. Actually, she has to come down a little bit more than halfway. But so we'll be hanging out for the weekend. And that is, what, the 18th? I don't even have a calendar. It's like the 17th, 18th, 19th, or 18th, 19th, 20th, something like that. That weekend before Memorial Day, because I don't want to be anywhere near there on a holiday. Forget it. I am looking and making sure, as I always do, look around like I have Alzheimer's or amnesia or something. What else? I know I'm making bags, because I bought about 135 yards worth of different fabrics. I'm not making bags with all the fabrics at the same time, obviously, but I did start cutting out bags, and they're just a little slower going because I'm working, so I don't have all day, but in between I'll actually start doing stuff on the computer like I need to, and then I'll go cut out a bag and then put it, and then I'll go back, and then I'll go back. I do that all day long anyway. Anybody else do that? You go to make a cup of coffee, do the loaded dishes and maybe wipe off the counter and then come back. And then you go back in and you do the laundry, or I do that stuff all the time. Makes it not so much of a chore if you just do it for a little bit. 5 minutes. I get to the point where, like, if I have to heat something up and it takes a whole minute, I'll see how many dishes I can do in a minute, or I'll see how many dishes I can put away in a minute, just so I'm not standing there waiting and wasting my time. It's a thing. I definitely need to do a lot more cutting. I should have done some more today, and I was dragging because I went to sleep so late last night, so I wasn't as motivated, but it happens. Oh, and one other thing. I went on to AliExpress and I bought this stuff for gel nail polish. I used to get my gel nail polish on my nails when I worked at the casino because I worked with my hands a lot. And my nails do grow. I have no patience to paint them. None. I can't stand it. More than 5 minutes and I'm sitting there going, yeah, this polish is going to get messed up. And inevitably you have to pee or tie a shoe or pull, whatever, you're going to mess it up. I do, every time. So I went and bought the gel nail polish stuff and the light, and I tried it out last week. What you've seen a little bit of is the results. Now, it's the first time now I've gotten it done and I've paid attention to what they do, so I sort of knew what to do. It's just taking the time out and the skill to get it done correctly. Plus, knowing how it spreads and stuff. So it's the first time. I wasn't horribly disappointed with it. And anything that went wrong was my fault. One thing I should have done was I should have made sure that I pushed back all my cuticles. I don't know why I didn't do that. I don't know. It was whatever. And another thing is, you really have to be careful. One of the clear really was a little bit more runnier than the rest of the stuff. And plus you can't see it. And maybe that's because you can't really see it like you do when you do the color. So some of it ran under my nails or on the edge. And you really need to be careful and get all that off of the edges, because then this happens. And it's not because it's just started peeling. It's because I started picking. And then it started peeling. So then I had to peel the whole thing off. Which is not good when you do gel nail polish, by the way. Don't do that. What I ended up doing was... after I got it off, I went and took a buffer and I made sure I got the top kind of smooth. And if you do that too much, your nails will get really thin. Your best bet is to soak them. And I should have pulled something out. Maybe I will next time. There's these little plastic things that just clip onto your fingers. It's really weird when you have it on there, but it's better than getting foil every time. Basically, you just get a cotton round or a cotton square, cut it into small parts, soak it with either the soak off, which is what I buy, which is nail polish remover, but you'd soak it in that, put it on there, put the little plastic clampy thing on it. It holds that on there and soaks into the polish. And you could also get a quick start, and I mean, if you're not interested, just say goodbye. But you can get a quick start and use a nail file and just file the tops to make them rough. Then you go and soak them, and then you take an orange stick and you push it off, and then sort of, clean it up a little bit. It's not that bad. I just need to do that now. But with the work and everything and me being tired, I just haven't sat down and I wanted to stitch instead. So I might do it this weekend. But I still don't, and apparently I really like this color. I bought it twice. But as you can tell, it's been like a week and it's growing out already. My nails do grow pretty quick. And I did cut them down before I started. So, we'll see what color I have next time. How about that? It does last a lot longer too, which I'm really happy with. Usually it'll just last until you actually soak it off and pull it off, or it grows out and then it looks weird and you gotta do it anyway. That's my babbling for the day. Okay, I ain't got much. I still have some bags available. Some are on my Etsy because that's like a last ditch thing. I just throw it on there and I don't worry about it until it sells. Which they do. I try to throw it on the Instagram and give you guys a chance there first. Instagram and Facebook. So, if you like, and you're interested in bags, and or there's a ton of new needle minders, and I know I'm getting some more in. I'm looking around. I don't have them right now, but I know I'm getting some more in soon. Check me out. That's Stitch, the letter N, button, all one word, on Etsy. StitchNButton Crafts on Instagram. And if you want to follow my stitching, and so I like to post funny things every once in a while. I try to do like 2 a day in the morning just to start everybody's day off. Sometimes it doesn't happen. But if you want to see me there, that's QNVIKKI on Instagram for my regular life / personal / mostly stitchy stuff Instagram. I got nothing else. 2 weeks, it's gonna be after the beach. So I will see you in 2 weeks. I'm not gonna be any tanner, trust me. This is it. This is tan as I get. This is my porch tan. I'm a redhead, and I'm okay with it. And I'll see you in a couple weeks. Hopefully I have a lot more stitching done. I know by then I should have done, what am I at, 8? I should have done 11 more things, at least, if not more, so that's a good thing. Okay, everybody, I hope you are having a wonderful day. If you're having a hard time, I hope I was able to get that off your mind for the little bit that this takes. I don't know, it's about 45 minutes now, because now it's 2 parts. And I hope everybody's doing a lot better, because there's been a lot of things going on, and it makes me weary, and I just want better things to start happening. And don't forget, don't let anybody steal your sunshine. Bye.